Welcome to the Broken Sun. Hey there, folks. Before we get started with this session 0, I want to make an important announcement. In order to defray the costs of running a podcast, we have opened up a Patreon. If you'd like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/brokensunrpg. You'll see the link in the show notes. The main purpose of this is just to handle hosting fees, things like art, website hosting as well, and ideally we would like to start being able to pay for things like transcripts, and if we get to the point where we can upgrade our equipment, so much the better. And hey, you never know, shoot for the sky, maybe we can even get to the point where we have a little money left over to pay all of our players and performers, including myself, for all the work that they're doing here for free. So if you would like to support us for as little as $1 per month, you can go to patreon.com/brokensunrpg and just click Become a Patron. I'd like to take a minute to thank our first patron, Good King Hadrian. Thank you so much for believing in and supporting our show. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the show. Okay, sorry for the interruption. When we left off, we were talking about friends and rivals. Friends are people that you can go to get better information. They're more likely to help you out. Rivals are people who will probably still help you, but they'll hold it over your head, and they'll probably show up at the worst possible time to get in your way, like in the middle of a job. So that's part of what a rival is. Like if you roll a complication, one of the things that I could do is, hey, your rival's here. You went to infiltrate that fancy party. Guess who else is infiltrating that fancy party? Todd.
Todd. Anyone but Todd.
Just that name.
Todd,
Dang
sorry.
that Todd Howard.
True.
It's Todd Howard, your nemesis.
Specifically the immortal form of Todd Howard, who used all his Bethesda money to join the Sun.
I ported Skyrim to the Sun.
Dang it, Todd!
The Sun is actually one of the vaults.
Ugh.
Oh my
I
gosh.
ported Skyrim to this calculator.
I just want it to be known that Slip's robot body can run Doom.
Well, I'd assume so. Can probably run Skyrim too.
Probably. Can house a consciousness.
Okay, so friends and rivals. Augustus, let's go over the contacts that you have on here, and then tell me which one's your friend and which one's your rival.
For my friend, I have Ishtar, who took over the cult after I had to leave to pursue my philanthropic ventures. And then the person that I have beef with is General Griefer, who's a total narc.
General Griefer.
No relation to Grievous.
Okay, and who are your other two contacts? Because you still have access to them. They're just not, they're like neutral-ish to you.
We have our constant companion, Chris Farley, who deals out of his space van down by the river.
Mm-hmm.
And then
The Data River.
And Bender Rodriguez, a bodyguard.
Of course. Okay, who are CD's friend and rival and other contacts?
Okay, so we have Sarah D, who's just normal. No one knows her relationship to CD. Just kind of this tired friend, basically knows about CD's stuff, and is just like, ugh.
What does Sarah do?
Sarah is also a doctor.
A doctor?
Well, she's in the medical field now, but she is specifically, now that bodies are gone, well, she tends to bodies that still exist.
All right, so she tends to the bodies of the upper strata.
Exactly.
Okay. And who is your rival?
CD's rival is their admin of the kind of like warehousey morgue, and their name is Micah White.
Okay. Micah? Micah?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's an administrator at your office?
Like the morgue. Like they're in charge.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if the word is in charge is right, but like they don't handle the bodies. So CD's in charge of the bodies, but they're like the person who's in charge of like, okay, we have the bodies here, I need these bodies. They're the body coordinator.
Okay, so they're like a quartermaster kind of thing? Logistics? Body logistics?
Yeah, they get the bodies to the center and...
They get the bodies to the floor.
The floor on which they're needed.
The inner floor.
Okay, and sorry, you said Sarah was she, her, and Micah is...
I don't know what Micah is. I just picked White because that was the last name of an astronaut, and Micah is the name of some guy I didn't really... who teased me in high school.
What are Micah's pronouns? Is what I'm asking there.
Well, we can go he, they.
Okay.
Fluctuate.
And sorry, Augustus, I did not ask about Ishtar and General Griefer's pronouns.
It's so good. I think Griefer is he, him, and then Ishtar would be she, her.
Okay. And who are your other contacts, CD, your other two?
We have V, that is a former patient.
Yep.
And let me double check this. And then there is, I didn't think of a name, but they're a drug dealer.
Okay. You can keep the name that's on that list if you want.
Part of me was wondering if I could put MP there, but...
MP is not a drug dealer.
Yeah, but not as a drug dealer.
Are you
as
sure?
a mechanic.
MP seem like they got something on the low happening. A little side hustle.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure out a name for that later, but they are a drug dealer, I guess. Do they deal drugs that only affect... Like, do they deal sim drugs?
Yes, sim drug.
Okay.
CD, being a medic, would not stand for real drugs.
Drugs are bad.
Okay. Slip, who is your friend and your rival and your other contacts?
Do we have only 2 other contacts, or is it 3?
You have 2. You have in total 4 contacts to start with, I think, unless there were more on your playbook to start with.
Oh, I had 5.
Well, then you've got 5.
Sick. Okay. So my good buddy is Higgins, a filthy scoundrel.
Yep.
And my rival is Whiskey Tango, a Sun Secret Police.
All right. And what are their pronouns?
Whiskey Tango, I do not know. So probably I just used them.
Okay.
And Higgins is he, him.
Thank you. Good. Choose your vice. Fighting the odds of the galaxy is stressful. Each crew member has a way to blow off stress described by their vice. Choose 1 or 2 from the list below and write in specific details. For example, you might choose plaisir, then write rare delicacies from distant planets. Ask your table if you get stuck on what kinds of vice might be fitting with the story of you and your character. The vices they have listed are faith, you're part of a cult, or observe civic ceremonies at regular intervals. Gambling, you crave games of chance or bet on sporting events, etc. Luxury, you seek the high life with expensive, ostentatious displays of wealth. Obligation, you're devoted to a family, cause, organization, charity, or etc. Plaisir, you seek hedonistic gratification from lovers, food, drink, drugs, art, etc. Stupor, you dull the senses with drug abuse, excessive drinking, fighting to exhaustion, or so on. And weird, you perform strange experiments, explore the way or sim, and commune with artifacts, and so on. So when you're picking a vice, bear in mind it's a way to blow off steam, but it can also land you in trouble. How much your vice consumes you and how much it drives your character to bad decisions is up to you. But the more it does so, the more experience you'll earn. Discuss this with me. Not every player may want their demons to rear their heads every session. So, Augustus, what is your vice?
I think weird. Augustus is a collector.
Okay. So they collect strange artifacts? Okay. What is Augustus's favorite artifact that they own?
It's a gauntlet that they haven't figured out how to activate.
Okay.
Are there any gems on that college by any happenstance? Any weird stones?
You know what? I don't have the stones at the moment, but there's some slots.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
Mysterious gauntlet. All right. CD, what is your vice?
CD's vice is also weird. And this is more along the line of ritualistic ceremonies for the dead. I don't want to put religion because it's not a systemized religion.
Right. CD is not particularly concerning themselves with whether these are necessarily accurate so much as what feels right, I take it?
Exactly. It's all just...
Okay. What is your vice, Slip?
Weird. Because, of course...
Good.
Yeah. It's messing with the sun simulation and station.
Okay.
So we all have weird children this time.
Because we were really normal in season 1.
So normal.
I was a giant rage brute.
Not the last step. The next step is to record your name, alias, and look. Now, all of your characters have a legal registered identity within the Sun Society. But because you're doing illegal stuff, you also have an alias. Maybe this is a nickname that you've earned, a title that you go by, or just a different name. But what is your character's alias? And their look is, generally their types of appearance. They have options such as man, woman, ambiguous, androgynous, xeno. It's about presentation rather than a statement of identity here. And you can include details for your look such as a long coat, a hood and a veil, a short cloak, suspenders, intricate rings, still suit, a worn uniform, glittering jewelry, and so on. Now, what's special here is that you basically have 2 looks. Because, and we hinted at this in a previous season, but we'll make it clear now, these characters live in a world where their bodies are mechanical, with encodings of their brain engrams transferred into them. So that's not a particularly pleasant way to live, seeing as it dulls sensation, the haptic feedback isn't great, and so on. It has a lot of long-term negative effects on your mental and emotional well-being. In an attempt to defray this, rather than just making sure everybody has access to a better life, the people in charge of the platform released a basically Second Life, a simulation that feels, sounds, smells, tastes, seems like the real world you left behind on Earth. You can access this simulation, and in it you have an avatar, which is whatever you want it to look like. But, again, because they're jerks and they wanted to save on processing, you have to pay to access the simulation. So if you don't make a lot of money at your job, you can only access the simulation for a few hours a week at most with the basic subscription level. That's just enough to stave off the worst effects of being stuck in a tin can as a human brain. Just enough. It's the bare minimum for survival. It's still not good for your health, but it's they did their calculations, they did their studies. This is exactly as much as you need to survive. And so that's what you get for your basic subscription. Some people can't even afford that, and we may see what that leads to. And the more money you pay for your subscription, the more time you get, basically. And your basic subscription comes with a basic avatar, just a generic look that may or may not look anything like what your human body looked like. And if you want to upgrade it, you have to buy physical items to attach to your mechanical body, which will, amiibo style, populate your sim avatar with those accessories or changed looks or so on. So if you want your character to get a haircut, you have to pay to get a haircut in the simulation. But that also means you have to have installed in your chassis the option for having hair on your sim. I want to say the basic sim is going to be a very bleak thing, like a just decanted clone in the Matrix. It's just like bald, sallow, no muscle tone. Just the most generic thing imaginable. So if you want to upgrade those options, you got to pay for it.
And of course, like default clothing, correct? Like a plain white tee and like...
Yeah, it says like, I heart the sun on it.
Yeah.
The City Caucasians is the favorite.
Back at it again with those City Caucasians.
You know how I feel about them.
So let's say...
Ambivalent?
Oh boy, don't they wish.
So, Augustus, what does your mechanical body look like?
I had a question.
Okay, what's your question?
If your outer body has a thin thing, like your robot body has a thin covering of gold, what would you look like in the simulation? What would that add?
You would have had to purchase that gold from like a licensed simulation artifacts dealer. Like you would have had to buy the gold cloth amiibo in order for it to do anything in the simulation.
Okay, so I'm asking about the guy that
he was a bad man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering, like, does that mean that they...
Oh, he definitely had all the bells and whistles. Like, his avatar would look however he wanted it to.
Triple S premium.
What I'm trying to ask is, like, did he wear a gold suit as his
Probably.
avatar?
His avatar was probably looked something like Chris Hemsworth in a gold suit.
You know, like Doug Dimmadome? Just like
the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Exactly. His house in the sim was the Dimsdale Dimmadome, which is legally distinct, of course. The Dimmadome.
I think because the software came this way already when they installed it, I think you can, for your avatar, choose basic things like eye color and skin tone, but that's it. Like, you can't change your clothes or your height or your size or anything else.
So, like in Pokemon, like it's just like, here's 5 different shades.
Yeah, it's the really basic palette that doesn't cover nearly everyone's identity on the sun.
Yeah.
All right, so Augustus, let's start with, what does your machine look like?
I posted it on Discord, but it looks kind of like if Hela from Ragnarok was just covered in like a very sleek metal.
Mm-hmm. Because you're from a wealthy background, so you could afford cool upgrades and stuff like that. So, sleek metallic Hela T1000.
Basically, with a skull face.
Of course. All right, cool. And what is the look of your avatar?
Gotta pull it up. It's a cute little chibi with a curly white hair and a small lopsided top hat. What is it? I guess it's like a very like androgynous looking like military uniform, colored gold and black, with a cape, fishnet stockings, high heels, and a red whip.
It looks like there's a gold monocle there too. Is that part of your design? And purple eyes. Okay, so you went all out. You got the fancy avatar upgrades.
Yeah, I also have the triple deluxe holy bleed package.
Of course. CD, what is your machine's look?
It's interesting. CD has kind of, you can tell that their original chassis was a little more sleek and better designed, but they've kind of fallen out of favor over time. So there's been some patchwork going on with their robot body. Imagine, if you will, it's a thinner, more humanoid body, or a little bit like C-3PO, but not quite as humanoid. But they definitely, and it's a dingy, like metallic silver and what have you, iron gray at this point. But there is, oddly enough, some odd accessories, such as a CD that they keep in like a weird like case as a necklace that doesn't necessarily like translate 1-to-1 on the in the virtual world, but it's a very slim waisted, think of it as kind of an eye like a capital I shape build for the robot, where it's very, very slim up and down body, but the arms kind of come out in an permanent, almost L shape that will move, but it's always slightly bent. And the hands, very humanoid, 5 fingers, very well kept. And the head is a little more triangular on this robot. And not even human feet. Like, it has the like treads like Wall-E or a tank would have.
Okay.
But the one thing about the triangular head is there are ears of a sense, like just triangular, like cat ears, but they aren't cat ears; they're dog ears, technically, sticking up.
So
on
you got
the top
pointy
of this
ears.
triangle, yeah. And this translates completely over into the avatar. Again, it's chibi, but it kind of looks a lot like a more androgynous, if anyone is familiar with, like, the top of it, it's straight Anubis from
Egyptian mythology.
It's a jackal head with, but more chibi-fied eyes and the big ears and, like, wearing these big earrings and, like, part of a head covering. And it's really weird. And then it kind of morphs into this more androgynous human body that I would say is not wearing necessarily Egyptian clothing, but definitely clothing that gives off an ancient vibe.
Okay. So they've sort of taken elements from this culture and applied it to their avatar.
Yes.
All right. Slip, what is your look for machine and then avatar?
So it's like a square, squat little box. and on top or like on the front is a screen that used to belong on a vending machine, and it would like show emoji faces, but it's stuck on the smiley face and it's cracked, so it's really zoomed in on one half of the smiley face.
Vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal.
Are you a gonk droid?
I'm essentially a gonk droid. It used to have treads, and one of the treads snapped, and so I have like crab legs on my right side.
Okay.
And I have no manipulators that are visible.
Crab robot.
So I guess it comes out kind of like R2D2 style when you need it.
I had a super tiny arm that I can extend, and that is it.
Great. Okay, and what does your avatar look like?
It would be just the basic amorphous androgynous blob person, but there's something wrong with my brain, and so it's kind of off looking, and it's gray.
Okay, it's entirely gray.
Kind of.
Okay, good.
Featureless. Almost.
I mean, not good. I hate it, but it's good that you've described it so well.
You're welcome.
Good. Pronouns. What are Augustus's pronouns?
Wrong with she, them.
Okay. Are there any particular circumstances in which she or they would go by one or the other?
No, I think they're both fairly interchangeable.
Okay, it's a fluid thing. Depends on how they're feeling that day. CD.
CD is they/them for like 95% of the time. Certain people are allowed to use female she/her pronouns. At this time, the only people that are allowed to would be their boss, Sarah D, and MP.
Okay. And slips.
They, them.
Okay. Good stuff. Got an NB squad going. I'm all for it. I think that's all the character stuff. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. We forgot the most important character, arguably. Your ship. So, in Scum and Villainy, as in the types of media that inspire it, the ship is basically a character.
Oh my... If
you can think of... yeah?
I just realized the best way to... The robot that CD looks the most like.
Yeah?
Crow T robot.
Oh, perfect. I will write that down in my notes.
Minus the gold. Maybe you should cut in where I say, basically imagine Crow T robot, but with Wally treads. And the head is a little bit more triangular.
That's the TLDR version, right? Crow T robot with Wally treads.
Yeah, I'm trying to doodle them out, but it's hard.
Yeah. So the next thing is the ship and crew type. So you don't have a spaceship, your crew, but you do have a vehicle, a sort of rolling headquarters that gets you from place to place.
It's a clubhouse.
And it's your clubhouse. When I say rolling, something that we've discussed on the Discord before that I love very much is that it is literally a sphere. It is like a giant ball bearing that rolls around through the layers and strata of the station and like drops down holes to disappear and escape and stuff like that. So it's like, imagine you're in one of those like kids maze games where you have to get the ball bearing from one end to the other. That ball bearing is your ship. And so it can roll around, fall down holes and so on to make its way through the station. So we know basically what it looks like. It's a sphere or spheroid, but we have to decide which type of crew you are, which determines the type of ship details and abilities you get. So there are 3 different types of ship to choose from. The Star Dancer, the Cerberus, and the Fire Drake. I was going to say Fire Break, but no, it's not a firefighting ship. The Star Dancer is for smugglers and blockade runners, looking to do odd jobs, small thefts, and find lost items. The Cerberus is extraction specialists, looking to find missing people or items and claim bounties. That's what you played during the playtest. And the Fire Drake is rebels and criminals, looking to protect the downtrodden and fight the oligarchy. So which type do you want to be? And this sort of affects the type of stories that we can tell in this season as well. Like if you want to be sneaking things around, doing smuggling and small jobs, you want Star Dancer. If you want to be hunting people down and claiming bounties, which I don't think particularly fits well with the tone we've got, you do Cerberus. And the Fire Drake is actively resisting oligarchic control. So battling against the systems that exist. So I think it's basically between Star Dancer and Fire Drake, depending which tone you want more.
Yeah, I was just going to say I didn't want to do Cerberus again, and that was my only real huge preference.
So what do you think?
Star Dancer for me.
Ditto.
You okay with that, Keekers?
I'm fine.
With the sassy AI on board.
What do you call this ship? This roving headquarters? What's the name of it?
A roving bash. Sorry.
Rolling probable cause.
Rolling probable cause. Yeah, I like probable cause. I really
The
do.
Heart of Gold. Sorry. Bad movie
You
reference.
got probable cause, Heart of Gold.
That was more a joke. I am not particular. I like probable cause.
I think
Okay.
that fits our MO
That was easy.
pretty well.
All right.
Wait,
probable
wait.
cause.
One more idea. High wind.
You need to tell you what, why don't you go look for Riku somewhere else? Ha ha! Got him. That's a got him. I'm gonna high five myself.
The sad thing is, like, I don't even think of that one as a high wind. I always think of the airship in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, that's my favorite high wind. Love that ship. All right. So you've got the probable cause, your big rolling ship. Choose a reputation. Ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, strange, or subtle.
Strange?
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
That seems fair. So the strange weirdness. Okay. So you're known for taking on strange jobs and completing them in strange ways, basically.
That's us.
Okay. Each ship starts with several pre-selected ship systems that reflect its focus. The start answer starts with a bigger hull to help carry cargo, both legal and illegal. You choose 2 additional ship systems to improve. Your choices are between engines, hull, comms, and weapons. So you've got currently 1 in engines and 2 in hull, 0 in comms, and 0 in weapons. The maximum weapons you can get on this ship are 2.
I'd like to have weapons on this ship. After season 1, I want weapons on the ship.
We can't flick the sun away like a big naughty booger.
I mean, you could try. So you want to put 1 into your weapons? And what's the other one?
Yeah, fake transponder? Comms?
Okay, so the comms would give you access to the option to upgrade to a fake transponder, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like 1 in comms.
Yeah, comm seems useful.
Okay. So then you've got 2 hull and 1 in engines, weapons, and comms. After you decide what you want to improve, I'll tell you about a faction that helped you get those improvements. They did you a favor. How did your crew respond? We haven't set up factions yet, so maybe we can come back to that.
I have one right here on my paper, though.
Yeah, we're going to get to the factions and stuff that you want to include. I should have done that before we did the ship, but we've already started on the ship. So let's leave that for now. But the options are you pay them off, which is you give them 1 cred in exchange for a job well done, no strings attached or nothing owed. I don't think you have any cred. They did. They had 2. So your options are basically owe them 1, promise them you'll return the favor down the line when they ask and gain +1 status with them, and stiff them. No need to pay a faction that doesn't demand payment up front. Take -1 faction. -1 status with that faction. So for your weapons, do you want to owe the faction that upgraded your weapons or stiff the faction that upgraded your weapons? The faction that upgraded your weapons will be under the criminal umbrella, just so that you're aware.
Oh, then let's have them. My union.
You okay?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, so we'll say that you owe them 1. And for your comms, the group that upgraded that will be under the corporate umbrella. So do you want to owe them 1 or stiff them?
We'll owe them 2. I would like to stiff them, but I also... Negative rep with a corporation sounds rough.
Yeah, it would be with one of the many corporations here in the sun. I mean, if you want to stiff them, do it.
Yeah, we're going to stiff them, if that's cool with everybody.
Yeah, we'll just help somebody else buy them out of business, I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
With all your money, Augustus.
All my charity monies.
All right.
That you're going to donate.
Go ahead. So for the weapons, you owe them 1. For the comms, you stiff them. Choose a special ability. Choose one of the special abilities listed on your ship. If you can't pick one, go for the first one. So the options here are the Getaway. You gain potency when you scramble or helm to avoid capture or run a blockade. When doing a delivery job, take +1 dice to the engagement roll. Cargo Eye. Your crew gains +1 cred for smuggling or delivery jobs. Whenever you gather info, you can always ask, what is most valuable here? Field Repairs. You gain potency when repairing your ship while in space or while on the go. If you spend a gambit on a rig roll, you gain +2 dice instead of +1 die. Leverage. Your crew knows how to pull strings and cash in favors. When you lay low, instead of rolling, you can take -1 status with a faction at helpful +1 or better, to reduce your wanted level by 1 and set your heat to 0 in a system. The system here will be strata. Just passing through. During payoff, take -1 heat. When your heat is 4 or less, you get +1 die to deceive people when you pass yourselves off as ordinary citizens, and you still have 2 downtime activities even if you're at war at -3 with any faction, as they have trouble locating you. Home cooking. Your whole crew gains the home cooking as a vice. Right after a job, you may spend 1 cred and a downtime activity to cook for everyone, allowing the whole crew present to make a vice roll. If everyone overindulges, a fight erupts, and everyone gains 1 stress after the vice roll. This requires a galley module. Or problem solvers. Each crew member may add 1 action rating to helm, rig, or scramble, up to a maximum of 3. And you can always upgrade to more of these.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you said cooking, the first thing I imagined was us cooking crystal meth, and I'm like, oh, so we have to sell the crystal, and then I'm like, oh no, that's not what it was.
Definitely just a meal. However, I'm certain that this current party is very capable of concocting illegal substances.
Yeah, I mean, we have a doctor.
Yeah, although you have stated that CD is against such things.
Oh, I know.
Morally opposed, some might say.
Now, the Star Dancer does start off with the gallery upgrade already. Or galley, not gallery. The galley upgrade already.
Oh, sick.
I would
So
suggest
if you want to start with home cooking, you can go with that. Otherwise, problem solvers might be handy.
Yeah, problem solvers, I would think.
I think
Or the getaway.
I like the getaway, but I also like having more pips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we want to start. Go ahead.
I don't care. That's all I was going to say. I don't care either way.
Velvet,
So you're going to go with problem solvers.
Velvet, do you want to roll a
Yeah.
d6, or are you good with problem solvers?
I'm more than okay with problem solvers.
All right.
Awesome.
I'll tick that off on your ship sheet there. So you can add 1 action rating to helm, rig, or scramble up to a maximum of 3. After that, what are you adding your action rating to, Augustus?
I think I misclicked. What does rig do again?
Rig is for rigging, like jury rigging, fixing stuff, machinery, that kind of thing. It's like engineering, mechanic stuff.
I think I'll do rig.
Okay. CD?
Dang, doing thing again.
Okay, we'll come back.
No, I'm good. So it was rig, scramble, or
Helm.
helm.
Helm is to drive things.
Yeah. I don't know if CD wants to helm or to drive it or not. I don't see them as a driver, so I think I'm going to put scramble.
Okay. And how about you, Slip?
Scramble. I like running away.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, assign upgrades. In addition to the upgrades each ship comes with, and for you, that's the galley and the insight training room. You as a group get to add 2 additional upgrades. So you might pick the Cerberus's stun weapons upgrade and also the auxiliary armory if you want lots of weapons and you're on the Cerberus. The upgrade is a valuable asset or system module that helps the crew in some way, such as an afterburner module or a shuttle. Each ship starts with pre-selected upgrades that are well suited for that crew, such as the galley for the Star Dancer or the brig for the Cerberus. After you assign your 2 upgrades, I will tell you about the factions impacted by your choices. And again, we haven't set up all the factions, but I'll give you an umbrella for each one, and you can get more upgrades in the future.
We have an insight training room already?
Yes, it comes standard on the Star Dancer. So your options for upgrades, you've got your standard crew ship upgrades of false ship papers, dark hyperspace lane maps, which would be like dark alleyways, smuggler's rigging, lucky charm, which is worth 2, and thrill seeker is worth 3, so you can't get that one yet. There's also the auxiliary, the AI module, the armory, a brig, shields, which would take 2, medical bay, a science bay. For training, insight, prowess, resolve, or personal. Personal gives you playbook experience when you use it. Ship gear, hollow emitters, intruder alarm, a Land Rover, power reserves, a shuttle, stasis pods, or vault. And crew gear is an alien pet, which would be probably a mechanical pet. Ground vehicles, like you could have motorcycles that drop out the sides or something. Recon drone, survival gear, or a workshop.
I vote for AI and workshop, personally.
Second.
What do you think, Keekers?
I like AI.
Although I'm very excited at the idea of you having the AI module.
Can we name it Schmargle Fargle?
It has a name already.
Oh, but I wanted it to be Schmargle Fargle.
See, you say that, but I'm not hearing you say we can't call it that.
You can call it Schmargle Fargle. I'm just saying it comes with a name.
Why wasn't Schmargle Fargle one of your contacts?
I will.
Still can be. We've got ship contacts to get through still.
A Sun
Yeah.
space station, no. Gnome. It's like an Ugna.
Just so
Okay, so
listeners right now, I am reclining like hedonism bot. Sorry.
So are we going with the so everyone who wants the AI module?
Yes, please.
And the workshop is the other one. So plasma cutters, a nano assembler, a stock of metals and electrical components, a forge, anything required to build, modify, or disassemble complex machines, weapons, and tools. Add +1 quality to craft rolls.
So perfect. Yes. I'm going to switch my scramble to rig, by the way.
Okay, so let's pop those in there. AI module. Oh, it's already got it. Okay. So your AI module is named Terry.
Oh boy, I already love this.
Like Terry Crew?
Yeah, but it's all capitals. Terri. Oh no, Y. Terry. All capital letters. That is your AI module.
I think it's time to let the cat out of the bag. We've got Terry Crews as a guest voice actor for too.
Yeah, Terry Crews or like Terry from Reno 911?
Definitely that, Terry.
Okay. We've got upgrades assigned, and then we choose our favorite contact from the list. We've got Takala, a dock master. So, I mean, there would be vehicle docks within this area. It would be like vehicle bays kind of thing. And there are docks because this stuff still has to get shipped around. Aelor, a keen-eared barkeep. Hayani, a tugboat captain. I'm not sure why we'd have tugboats, so we'll have to change that one.
No, we should call them tugboats.
It's literally just a dude who has like a pickup, not a pickup truck. What are they called? AAA has them.
Tow truck?
Tow trucks?
A tow truck. It's literally just a tow truck, and he's our friend.
It sounds like Snargle Fargle is the tow truck driver then.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab some names from my list of Season 2 names, and I'm going to put them in there.
What's wrong with Takala?
Or Snargle Fargle.
All right, so the dock master is named Aeol, A-E-O-L, pronounced AOL, who is the dock master. Your keen-eared barkeep is named A-Track, A-Y-T-R-A-K.
Does A-Track have a sibling named B-Track?
No, they have a sibling named Cassette, though. Hayani.
And CD, we already have.
Let's see. What was the other one that I had here? The tow truck captain. We'll figure out what that means.
They are the mightiest of unions.
Your tow truck captain is named Og, O-G-G.
Okay.
Oh, I want Og.
You get all of them. It's just you pick one who is your favored.
Well,
and let's see.
You all know.
Your diplomat's name is XL, just the capital letters X and L.
Of the New Hampshire XLs.
Yep.
They invented extra large.
They did, actually. Yeah, that's how they made their fortune.
Sick.
He owns the chain of big and tall stores in the sun.
Your reclusive info broker's name is Reuter.
Oh, I really like
R-E-U-T-E-R.
Yes.
I really like that too. Oh boy, I can't decide.
Of all of these fun names. But I guess it makes sense since I named my character CRTD.
I'm going to roll a d6 to see who I like the most.
I can't choose. It's like choosing between my children.
So AOL is the dock master, can help you get things in and out, or help you tell you about things that are moving in and out of the warehouses. A-Track has got their ear to the ground and will know, the scuttlebutt on the streets. Og can tow you, I guess, or tell you about who's getting towed around. I guess you would need tow trucks to drag chassis to get repaired and stuff when they break down. XL is a diplomat, so they would have the inside track on what's going on politically, in particular between the corporate and military factions. And Reuter is a reclusive info broker, so that's like your lone gunman type from the X-Files, or Player from the new Carmen Sandiego.
Super sick. Love that.
Oh, I need to watch it. Last night, my mom was like, I think I want to watch that, but I wish it was the game show. And I'm like, I know, Mom.
The game show still exists. You can still watch it.
No,
Y'all are gonna love
she just
that.
wants a new game. She just wants a new game show.
Oh, a modernized one.
Yeah, I don't know why, but my mom really likes Carmen Sandiego, the game show. She's like,
Valid.
she's like 63.
She has good taste.
It's a good show.
It was fun.
I liked it too. Okay, so you need to pick a favorite contact here.
I vote for Reuter because the dice gods have demanded it.
I also like Reuter.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with Reuter. I couldn't choose, so thank you for deciding for me, friends.
I don't want to pull you over. I feel bad.
No, all I care is that it's not. Is that I can't decide because I love all the puns too much.
That's all valid. Og.
And so
Whose cyber body is literally just. I imagine a pogo stick.
I mean, his cyber body might just be a tow truck.
That's
like
so
Mater.
good.
Og might be Mater.
Let's let the cat out of the bag. We got Larry the Cave Guy as their second guest.
Ain't no one as good at towing things as me, Og, the cable guy.
Oh boy, that one's for you, Jace.
Okay.
And my nephews would immediately start listening to this show if we had him.
Okay, so Reuter, it should be REU there. I must have misspelled REUTER. Exclusive info broker. So Reuter is on friendly terms with the criminal faction and a particular craption under the criminal umbrella. So you get a +1 to one of the criminal factions that we set up, and is on bad terms with the military umbrella faction, because this may come as a shock, but in general, militaries aren't the biggest fans of a free press.
What?
I know.
You mean
I know it's a surprise.
Where's the Sun Multistellar News Network?
I wasn't ready for that truth bomb.
There's definitely an official military news channel, and probably an official corporate news channel too.
Super 1984 up in here.
The Daily Sun.
Yep.
The Daily Sun.
The Daily Sun.
I'm not
It's gotta
kidding.
be like
that is
the Daily
name of
Revolution or something like that.
that is the name of my newspaper.
They would not use the term revolution.
No, they sure wouldn't.
Their morning
guys.
news is the rising sun, and the evening news is the setting sun.
Friends, my actual newspaper is the Daily Sun.
That's such a cool newspaper name.
It is, but they're really bad at publishing like actual world events. It's always like, guess what? People live a
It's
really,
really
long.
hot.
No,
It's the sun.
no, it's more along the lines of, hey, guess what? Only in the villages. It's like, shut
Okay.
up. We don't care.
Is there anything?
Sorry.
That's
I'm
fine.
really salty about it.
About the Daily Sun.
I am really salty about the Daily Sun.
So, anything else about your characters you'd like to talk about, or you feel is important at this point?
I'm weird, yo.
We're all weird.
Augustus is like the
We're all
nicest
strange
person on the
here.
station. They just want what's best for you.
Augustus is like definitely an Elon Musk type, but pretends to be a Bill Gates type.
I did ask when you were pitching me that character. I asked you in the Discord, "Are you just playing Elon Musk?"
My answer is still maybe.
It's literally just let's make it legally distinct. It's Melon Husk.
Melon husk.
Melon Husk.
One thing I want to open up about for CD is I figured out what the C stands for.
Yeah.
Karen.
Citrine. Okay.
Sorry, I missed that.
Karen.
Chiron?
Like
CHIRON or
Yeah,
No.
it's Greek
CH.
Undertaker.
oh CHARON.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that
more
one.
pronounced Karen. Like,
Right. I gotcha.
Like the actual female name.
I get it. It's a double entendre.
It's almost triple because carry on, but you know.
We've got deep lore on these names already.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm just going to be making a lot of Mean Girls Karen jokes.
That is the deepest lore.
No one knows what CD's name is. You guys don't know. I mean, you might find out.
I'll do it in my head.
Nobody knows. Listeners, you do not know.
No, listeners.
Yeah, forget you heard that.
Listeners, you can
What?
know what CD's first name is.
Spoilers.
Karen Danvers.
Carol Channing. Michael,
Okay.
that's 2 C's, not the CD. I'm real good at reverse repelling out of this conversation. Bye.
See you later. Oh, he even did the standing worm on his way up.
That's a 10 out of 10. That's well done.
Okay, Velvet. What is a foe or obstacle you'd like to face over the course of Specters of a Broken Sun?
Definitely the military. I don't like those narcs. There is like
any particular part of the military.
Whatever
Sorry, I
the core part
interrupted you
is.
when you said-
Whatever the part that's like, you can't make giant marble columns. We need them for tanks.
So the logistics branch of the military?
You're literally just fighting over how nice your bathroom is going to be. You're the worst.
Listen. I guess whatever the head is, because I figure if I chop off the head, the rest fall in line.
Okay, the rest fall in line like marble columns.
Yes.
So the military command structure.
100% not how militaries work, my beautiful listeners, just so you know.
Take this all with a grain of brown sugar.
Oh my gosh, that is an amazing thing. Can you put that on
100
Twitter?
points to House Augustus. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, militaries do tend to have, safeguards in place against that type of strike, but maybe Augustus doesn't know how militaries work.
You just keep playing stupid oligarchs. Why is that a type?
We all have our types. We have oligarchs, people that want to help and heal, but seem somewhat ineffective by their own personality flaws, and then big boys.
Okay, you know what? Compromise. Instead of marble columns, they can be held up by giant mechs.
Sure. Much cheaper.
Big boys.
What's an ally you'd like to work with during this season?
I mean, I've got Chris Farley down. That's my constant. I like my Colt friends. Bring them in.
Okay. What is an item you would like to see?
I would like to be able to restore my favorite gauntlet to its rightful glory.
Okay. Gauntlet mystery revealed. What's a plot twist you'd like to occur at some point? I can't promise it'll be in there, just if we can.
A plot twist? I'm not sure.
Okay, we can come back to that. Okay, name me an organization in the world. A corporate, criminal, or civilian faction, basically. Sorry, a corporate, criminal, or military group that we're going to put on the faction list. So it can be a company, a criminal group, a military body, or like a squad.
I'm thinking the ones that have like all the numbers. They're not necessarily elite. It's just like entirely too many people. The ones led by General Griefer, with whom I have mad beef, who are like, man, no Gundams holding up the towns. We need those for barracks, man.
Okay. So again, the General Griefer's quartermaster.
Just all of General Griefer's dudes.
Okay.
I'm shook.
Maybe like...
I'm shook with how fucking... just how darn self-centered Augustus is.
This is a very petty dispute. I was a petty officer. The original petty officer.
You put the petty in that rank.
And they all talk like 40s gangsters. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
So I put General Griefer's staff / cronies in there. Do they have a name? Like, does General Griefer's inner circle have a nickname they go by? If you don't have it yet, we can come back. Just something to think about.
Let's call them the Narcs. And they were coincidentally the 40th company.
The General Grievances.
Yes, the General Grievances.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
That was like a dab crossed with a bow.
That's my style. Don't wear it out.
Yeah, we call it the Dow Jones.
That is proper form when you reverse your bow.
That's the flourish afterwards.
Tell me about any non-player character in the world outside of your existing contacts.
That's not an existing contact?
Yeah.
There's a detective near us, named Nick. I haven't come up with the last name, but he sounds suspiciously close to Nicolas Cage.
Okay. Detective Nick. And is this the detective that, like, is trying to track you down, or are they a corrupt detective?
No, they're cool, but they're a people detective, so they don't care about what, like, the big folk are fighting over. They're looking out for the little guy. So, like, missing people, missing pets.
Okay. Detective Nick
Offer.
Pound.
I was about to say.
A pound. Like the pound.
Hashtag.
Where you find cages.
Nick Offerman.
And, okay. Who is a villain in the world? Other than General Griefer, who's one of the bad people that exist?
I'm struggling with a name, but one of the bigwigs. Actually, all the bigwigs are pretty bad.
Major Payne, perhaps?
Yes,
Is
Major
it
Payne.
Corporate or military?
Probably like the head of the military faction.
Okay. And the head of the military faction is named Major. I just want to make sure I'm clear on the implications here. Their parents named them Major.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
are, you're a bad,
Major
bad
from a
man.
long line of majors.
Funnily enough, he's a colonel.
General Major Payne. A-I-N-E, I assume, or A-Y-N-E?
A-Y-N-E. Can't
Okay.
be two on the nose.
Of course. And what is a location of great wonder in the world, either the real world or the simulation? A place that Augustus finds wonderful.
The gardens that I so generously donated to the city that have pink fountains.
Okay.
Ooh, pink.
Are these real gardens in like the central core area, or are they virtual gardens somewhere?
The last part cut out.
Are these gardens in the real world, like in the central core area where they have such things, or are they virtual gardens?
No, they're real.
Okay.
Such opulence.
We'll say those are in the core somewhere, and they have pink fountains.
The center of it is a statue of Atlas holding up the world, with Augustus sitting on top of the planet that Atlas is holding.
Is it a very tiny Augustus, or is it large enough for everyone to see?
It's large enough to see, but it's not like super tiny.
Okay.
So Augustus is like as big as like North America, say, or
Maybe Australia.
okay.
Australia sized. Good.
Doing the princess wave.
Geekers.
It's animatronic and it's claimed by Satan.
Yeah.
Geekers, what's a foe or obstacle you'd like to face?
I have a foe and an obstacle, but I don't know. Like, Gov.
Gov themselves.
I'd like us to meet Gov because they're in the sun, aren't they?
That's what we've been told.
Yeah. And an obstacle I'd like to face is a maze, for hopefully full of the bodies in storage.
It is going to be a 5-episode arc getting out of that maze. God help us.
What's an ally you'd like to work with?
I had an idea of another AI, but I guess that's kind of already built in with Terry.
It can be yet another AI.
Okay.
I mean, they're out there. Would this be an original Sun AI or some type of surviving station AI?
Ooh, I want a station AI because I had written someone from below or another AI.
Okay.
2 and 1 would be fun.
What's an item you'd like to see?
I wrote the Earth and mummies.
Okay.
Mike's look. It's just like, what?
I can't hide how I feel.
What is a plot twist? Do you have one down?
I do. I'm not saying it right now. I will message you.
Okay. And name me an organization in the world, corporate, criminal, or military.
I was going to say it was more civilian, but it doesn't matter. It might be. Oh, I can't.
Tell me what it is, and then we'll figure out where to put it.
I've called it Phoenix. They believe in creating clones from the bodies for everyone to inhabit to get an actual second life and start a new colony for them separate from the one in the station and live a new life down below.
This sounds like a corporate entity.
Okay.
Because they would need to have
Immense resources.
resources.
Yeah, but it's like they want basically they're like, oh, it's getting really tiring. I'd like to like go down there or get people to go down there, and then it's like they'll live down there, they get a body, they get to die, but they continue their lives, and basically
Transhumanism.
That sounds like why Augustus would be working with CD.
Yeah.
Is this an organization that CD likes, or are they just there?
CD is neutral about them. They like the idea of people stopping this like non-secular, like everyone from the station doing it, like no one being in the sun anymore, and going down and being like, well, we're going to start a new thing and no longer subjugate these people. But on the other hand, they're afraid that if, it could go south.
There's also the whole colonial aspect.
Oh, yeah.
That we can engage with. So I've written down Phoenix, a startup hoping to use human remains to create clone bodies for everyone and start a colony on the station.
Yes.
Okay. Who is a non-player character in the world other than your contacts?
Schmargle.
Okay.
Now,
who are they?
To that. See, I had originally put one of my contacts, and now I'm trying a name that I used for one of my contacts, and I'm trying to think of a new use for Schmargle, what they do.
Okay.
Schmargle is an engineer and taught CD how to become a robot doctor.
Okay. So how to repair robot bodies.
Yeah.
Who's a bad person in this world? A villain.
Ooh, this is a good one. Her name is... Oh, wait, no, I can't do Mike. Dang it. I was going to say Mike as in microphone.
Yes, you can.
We can say Mick.
Okay. And what's bad about them? What are they? Who are they?
Mick is a male, or, well, I don't know if they are anymore. They used to be. And they were the middle ranking officer on the station. I think he got higher up after some time, like worked his way up a bit.
Okay.
And he's been pretty in support of stuff.
Of what the station's doing?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I think he's pretty ignorant of some of the stuff too, or willfully ignorant.
So what is a location of great wonder in this world?
In the virtual world, it's the spawn point that everyone spawns into. I think that there's like Minecraft-esque, like people have built great wonders there.
Okay.
I don't know how CD feels about it. She's kind of neutral about it. And then for CD personally, it's her. I don't want to say it's not technically like a cemetery, but it's where CD spends a lot of time, where they have all of the people they've been able to inter in like this mausoleum-esque area. And this is where they do their weird activity.
All right. So there's like a mausoleum type thing. Is that real world or virtual?
That's real.
Okay. So a place where dead bodies are kept.
Well, it's the bodies that are like disposed of.
Okay. So body disposal place and various types of disposal take place there, I assume.
Yeah, CD kind of has started disposing in creative ways, but you know.
Okay. Mike, what is a foe or obstacle you'd like to face?
Just 1 second.
Sorry, slip. A foe or obstacle you'd like to face.
Undead?
I mean, that's all of the rich people. They are technically all zombies.
Yep, and I'm gonna punch them.
Aren't we zombies?
Yep, you're all.
Nope, I'm a higher form of being. Thank you.
Okay, just undead in general, a specific undead, hordes of undead.
Hordes of undead. I want something to go wrong, and there to be an undead horde.
Is that also the plot twist?
No.
That you want, or you have a different one?
That is distinct.
Okay. What's an ally you'd like to work with?
Alien cyber commandos?
Sure. What is an item you'd like to see?
Punitive consciousness cages?
Oof, gross.
Yep, they're the worst.
Okay. And what's a plot twist you'd like to occur?
Earth knows about the sun.
Interesting. I like that. All right. What's an organization in the world? Corporate, criminal, or military?
Corporate. Olympian interior design.
Okay. What are they?
They're the ones who made my marble columns.
They handle all of the beautified parts of like real space, and then a lot of their programmers are responsible for the nice parts, the nicer parts of the sun itself, the simulation.
The simulation. Okay. Olympian interior design. Is their CEO named Jen Trefire?
Yes. I am astounded that you and I thought of the same joke. Because I wanted to say that. You beat me to it. Well done.
Who's a non-player character in the world?
The junk dealer Jorgis Zoop, who may or may not be an alien.
Okay. Who's a villain in the world?
Lieutenant Commander Eric Rogers.
ERIC or K?
K, because it's more evil.
Okay. What's interesting about Eric?
They were part of bridge staff on the space station, but now they're the public face of the secret police, so to speak.
Ah.
The space Stasi.
Poster child.
Yep.
The poster person.
The golden poster person. Obviously a blonde white man.
Right. Is it he, him, or are they, them, or she, her, or...
They still have a body,
him.
According to the news.
In a different world, they were the quarterback for the city Caucasians.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like the team captain 200 years, right?
Location of great wonder in the world.
There's rumors about a massive data library that is open to the public, so to speak. But there's like a bunch of like black box recordings from the original station and the sun itself that are hidden there.
I see.
And I want them real bad.
Okay. Just going to put in here CEO Jennifer Trefire. Good. Is there anything else you feel like we need to cover here? Any other factions you want to add? Any other characters you want to hear about for anyone?
I want to hear a little bit more about MP.
You might.
We know MP though.
Okay. What else?
I guess what the current power structure of the station is.
Okay. I think the nominally, the power structure of the station is headed up by a committee made up of equal parts military and corporate leaders. Yeah, equal parts, air quotes, military and corporate leaders who are like the tops. It's like probably General Major Payne is a member of that. Maybe Jennifer Trefire is on that council, and others. The most powerful corporate and military leaders make up this ruling council. What else have we got?
You might say the worst generation.
Is it possible that that a lot of the bodies are being spaced, or like the non-usable ones?
Possible. That might be something that your characters would need to explore if it were of interest to them.
I think that's something that CD would already know.
Okay. I'm going to say no then. Bodies are not being spaced. But something is happening to a lot of the bodies that CD has not been able to find out yet. So the ones that they don't get their hands on, a lot of them just disappear. And CD doesn't know where.
CD is really upset about that.
How large is the military? I mean, I guess in terms of them, keeping order in the station.
Let's see. So there would definitely be military police who would be acting as police. It's like that situation, when the police become the military, then the people become the enemy. That's in full effect here on the station because there is no civilian policing force for there to be a nominal separation between the two. It's just soldiers are the cops, or there's private security forces as well. It's like a combination of military police and then private police. And depending on where you are in the station, you'll be served, air quotes, by one or the other. And of course, there would be conflicts over jurisdiction between those two factions. But this is a war machine, probably one of the largest ever made, full of people trained to fight and subdue enemies who have no external enemies to fight or subdue. So the military is the largest force on the station. Like, they have more concentrated power than anyone else because they've got they've got the majority of the weapons and the majority of the people, because the majority of the people are military and military families. And then after that, it's corporate and corporate families. And then after that, contractors. And after that, stowaways, and so on.
Yeah. I don't know if CD qualifies as military or not, because they were a field medic for the military.
Yeah, a field medic would be a military position.
Okay. But they've since technically retired from that job because there is no field to medic on.
Yeah, so the military probably still considers you part of their whole deal.
Okay.
CD probably has a rank, whether they go by it or use it or not.
Yeah, they don't.
And nominally a commanding officer, a chain of command that you're expected to report into and all that, because you were military, so they consider that you are always military.
I think that it's like a case of kind of coming in and appearing as that person when called to, but the rest of the time CD is CD.
Right. So like when CD's commanding officer or whatever call them in, do they go in or?
I mean, I don't think you can refuse to go in.
You can, it's just you'd get in trouble.
Yeah, so I think that either, Karen goes in as Karen and not CD, or
okay. I got it. We can go more into that as the game unfolds.
Yeah.
Any other information or cool stuff or thoughts that you have before we close out here?
Why
The
was
secret police should be called the Solar Flares.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is that their official name, or is that what people call them?
That is what people call them because they really hate having it happen.
I had one more question, which was this just the orbital station? It was just kind of orbiting around Earth, and it was like just kind of there in case they needed it, or?
Yeah, it was a big old weapons platform put together as a joint venture between Canada, the US, and I had this in my notes. I want to say Germany, but it might have been Canada, the US, and Russia.
Okay.
Maybe Germany too. But like world superpowers collaborated to build this immense city-sized battle station in the sky, sort of as a military answer to the International Space Station.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the International Space Station if it were all guns and all military.
A space force, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would have come in useful if there were space hostiles that would have been able to fight, but there weren't.
It was definitely 100% built in response to the station being put up there.
Ooh.
You know, the idea of a space race, as it were, a space military race.
Yeah.
Well, they've got this big, completely unarmed station up there. We must put one that's covered in weapons.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I can just imagine some of the people like came onto it and were like, oh, well, you know, this is a great chance to work in space and do stuff. And, oh, sure, I have to join this military organization, but whatever, I'll be doing what I love, you know, like I imagine that's what
it's
someone thought. And
it's got labs, research stations, you know, anything you could imagine that would entice people up there, like think tanks, all that stuff. There's entrepreneur dorms, everything you can imagine on this station.
And I'm sure
veritable Silicon Valley.
I'm sure it was touted as being like, oh yeah, they're weapons, but I mean, we're up there to help protect, you know, the Earth and this station out.
Oh yeah,
there's all these people out in the station. Oh, we'll help them, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, don't think too much about the 50,000 cannons.
I think that would probably have been classified material. Like, you wouldn't know how many. It was just like, oh, yeah, we have some.
Oh, it's a heavily armed battle station.
Oh, yeah,
But it's also an opportunity to advance the human race.
Exactly.
So was the crossbow.
Bring us into the future.
Can the think tank be an actual organization?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I'll put it down.
I hate them already, and I'm going to blow them up.
There's probably at least one corporate think tank and one military think tank. So we'll have to figure out what those are. But we can do the rest of the faction generation. We'll figure it out over the next month before our next recording session. And by the time we do Specters of a Broken Sun episode 1, we will have our 3 factions with all of their subdivisions in them and have figured out all of those other details.
Yes.
But for now, I think we are done with our session 0.
Yay.
Yay.
So I want to thank you all for coming out and look forward to getting into our game of Scum and Villainy together. Can't wait to see what you do to this world.
Nothing good.
Nope. Well, a little bit of good.
Depends on your definition of good.
Yeah.
Something violent.
Yeah, probably that.
All right. Well, until the next time then, all the best.
All the best, folks.
And of course,
Bye, Space Squids.
Space Squids.
Space Squids. Woo!